Hey, Brother Josh here, bringing you a coffee break today. I'm hoping everybody out there is doing fine, and we're going to get into a little thought I had one day, and maybe we can go a little deeper into it, and it'll give you a little appreciation of some people that you've had in your life. But before I start, I'd like to ask you, please, if you've not subscribed to the channel yet, you're a regular listener, please go ahead and subscribe. And if you enjoy the video, I'd like you to hit that thumbs up button there and help me out. And all you that watch, regular watchers, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching Calvary's Cry Ministries, and I want you to know that it's much appreciated. All right, well, let's get into what we're going to talk about today. I want to talk about people you don't forget. And I know in your life and in mine, we have come across people that we just don't forget. For some reason or another, and hopefully good reasons, they stick in your mind. They have become a part of you in some way. And whether they were there a short time or whether they were there a long time, they have imparted something to you that has made you hopefully a better person, or something that has just transformed your attitude or your character. And I want you to understand that people like that don't always come around in your life, and that when you find somebody who really helps you, somebody in your life that has added something to you, that is a special moment and a special person in your life. Now, these people that I'm talking about usually make a lasting impact or a lasting impression on you. And it could be someone in your family. It could be a coworker. It could be a friend, or it could be a stranger that was in your life just a short time. And sometimes people make a good impact, and that's really what we want in our hearts and in our lives. But then there are times people make a negative impact in our life. Well, I want you to understand here today is that we need to be people who make a lasting impact and a good impact in other people's lives. And I want to show you very quickly how you can be a person who other people don't forget. Let's go to Galatians 6 and 10 in our Bible. Listen to what Paul says here, Galatians 6 and 10. He says, "As we have therefore opportunity, let us do good unto all men, especially unto them who are of the household of faith." And so we as Christians have a duty unto God and to our fellow man to love them and to do good. And Paul says, especially unto those that are of the household of faith, or fellow Christians. And I want to just remind you of people that have been in your life that have in some way imparted a skill, some wisdom, maybe help when you needed it. And also I want to add this, that they gave to you understanding and forgiveness when you made a mistake, when possibly you did something you shouldn't have done. And these people, most of the time, are mature people that have went through the trials, the tribulations, and the warfare of life, and they're able to pull from that wealth of wisdom and that wealth of understanding and impart it to others. Now, you may say, I want to be one of these people. I want to be someone who does good to my fellow man. I want to be someone who does especially good to those of the household of faith. And I'm going to give you some attributes, some characters that you have to have so that you can be one of those people. Number one, I want you to see is that you have to be selfless. That means you must think of others, not just yourself. There's no way you're going to make an impression or a lasting impact on people if you just don't have time for them and they're not important to you. Because you have to invest your time and effort in those people. And to do this, you have to be selfless, not always thinking about me and my own, but you have to reach out in love to other people. 2, you have to be patient. You can't lose your cool easily, and you've got to put yourself in the other person's shoes. It's very, very easy to find someone out there who doesn't have patience, who loses their cool, who don't have time for other people. They're a dime a dozen. All they're worried about is making some money. All they're worried about is their pleasure in life, and they don't have time. They don't want to put the effort in other people's lives. You can't be like that. You must be patient when helping somebody, especially if you're teaching somebody a skill or you're trying to coach them through a rough situation. You must understand you have to be patient with them. You got to keep your cool, and you can't give up on them. God don't give up on them. We don't need to give up on them. Amen. Now, thirdly, I want to tell you is that you have to be willing to give. You've got to give love. You've got to give time. You've got to give knowledge. You've got to give skill. You've got to give help. If you're not a giver, you will not be someone who makes a lasting impression or impact on someone else. It's just not going to happen. You've got to reach down into the depths of your soul. You have to let God work through you, and you have to be able to give something to somebody. You have to impart something to somebody in order to help them. And lastly, I want to say you need to have a good attitude. Nobody likes to be around someone who is constantly negative and complaining. Someone who has a good attitude, it has a good outlook on life, it is much easier to receive help and to give that impact or that how can you say it, to give that lasting impression upon their life. And so those are some things that you can do so that you will be someone people don't forget. But also, there's a negative to this. But before I get into the negative on this, I want to just give one example of how someone who was in my life a very short time, I want to say probably weeks, maybe a month or so, a little longer, but had a lasting impact on me. And it has changed me forever. When I was around 20 years old, I had a job at a grocery store in a little larger town than what I live in now. And I was lost. I strayed from the Lord. I was doing my own thing. I was living in sin. And things for me at this time just weren't, I don't know, I was really getting just uncontent with the way my life was going. I was not, the things of the world were not satisfying me. And I just longed for something better, something more substantial and real in my life. And as I worked at this grocery store, I was working in the meat market. I was helping the butcher and, cutting meat and putting hamburger meat out and adjusting the freezers and, putting stock lunch meat out and things of this nature. And there was a man named Shane, not an old man. He was probably in his mid-20s, maybe late 20s. And he was the Dr. Pepper man. And the Dr. Pepper shelves happened to be right there by the meat market. And he would come in, and what I noticed about him is that he was a bright and cheery guy. He just said hi. He was open. He just, how you doing? I hope you're doing good today. And he would talk to me, and he would just be one of those people that was just a joy to be around. Well, as I got to know him over the few weeks, I found out that he was a youth pastor and that he went to a church similar to what I had gone to in the past when I was a teenager and a child. And we got to talking about these things. We got to talking about church. And the more we sit and talked about that, the more my soul hungered for God. And it wasn't long. He invited me on a trip to go with them to a certain youth event that they had. Well, I went and was supposed to meet them in a certain place. They didn't show up. Things happened in their schedule, and he was not able to make it. But what happened is that I had in my mind I was going to give my heart to the Lord that night. Well, since that didn't happen, the next Wednesday that we had church at my mom and my father's church, I went and I gave my heart to the Lord. And I didn't see him much after that. I don't know if his route changed, or I know I didn't stay at that place very long afterward. But he was just there a short time, and it made a lasting impact in my life. It changed me forever. And I'm glad for the pastor that was there at that church that prayed me through to the Lord. But I'm going to tell you, most of the work was done through Shane, not the pastor at that church. The Holy Spirit working through Shane made me to long for God once more. And so that lasting impact changed me. He was a person used of God who made me hunger for the things of God that I had forgotten about and that had been long gone in my past. Now, that's the type of people I want you to be out there. But let me give you the negative, okay? I don't want you having these traits that I'm about to give to you. People who will negatively affect you, or you'll be worse off for knowing them, are usually like this. They're selfish. Very, very selfish. They're not worried about you. They're jealous. They're jealous of anything that you have got, that God has given you, or something good happens to you and they're jealous of it. Don't be like that. They're prideful. They can never be wrong. They'll never admit to wrong. What they have is always better. They're always better. Okay? They offer no help. Really, what they want to do is ridicule and make fun. And then you also have those who manipulate and take advantage of those who need help. Y'all, these people also make a lasting impact on others' lives, but it's not a good lasting impact. It is a lasting impact that hurts people, sometimes physically, but usually emotionally and in the soul. And it takes people sometimes years to overcome these hurts that they have on the inside because someone was selfish, careless, rude, and we don't want to be like that. We want to be people who make a lasting impact on others' lives because of the love and the grace of God that we showed them. I want to go one more time into the Bible, and forgive me, I haven't got it marked here so I can get through there quickly, but I'm going to go to Proverbs 13 and 20. And like I said, please forgive me for taking so long here. Proverbs 13 and 20. And let's hear what it says. I'm almost there. It says this: He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. And this is what I want to tell you, is that if you want to be someone that has a lasting and good impact on other people around you, you need to surround yourself with other good people. Other good people that can help you, that will rub off on you, and that you can rub off on them. And I want to say this, is that you do not run around with foolish, negative, selfish people. Yes, be nice to them, be friendly to them, try to win them to Christ. Don't treat them wrong in any way, but do not make them part of your inner circle, because they will bring you down. You want to make a lasting impact on their life to bring them to Christ and to make them a Christian and to bring their life up on a higher level in God. But if you run around with people like this and you're a Christian, you're living right for the Lord, it is very possible that they will bring you down. So you got to keep these people at an arm's length. Love them and treat them well, but don't allow them to bring your walk down. There are some people that just won't be helped. There are some people who are set and determined in their mind to live the way they want to live. And you've got to understand it. There comes a point in time to where you say, okay, this person is not receptive. They're not wanting to be, ministered to, and you have to go your way. Not rudely, not mean, not casting them off as that they'll never be saved or anything like that. But the Lord will have to work on their heart a little longer before they will be receptive to what's happening. And it may not be your time in their life in order to bring them out of that. Well, this is Brother Josh. I just wanted to give you those words today. I wanted to put that thought in your mind. And hey, let me say this to you. If there's someone in your life that has made a lasting impact, if they're a Christian or they're a family member, it may not hurt just to send them a text. It may not hurt to send them a card. It may not hurt to just call them up and say, you know what, I want to thank you for the things that you've done for me. I want you to know that you've been a person I will not forget in my life. This is Brother Josh. Hope you enjoyed the coffee break. We'll see you later. Bye.